The Survival Guide to Life.
Hey everyone, how's it going? We got another episode of The Survival Guide to Life. And this week, our special guest is Ashley Holt. Now, Ashley, thanks again for redoing this episode because we had a little technical difficulties on the last one. So for everyone who's tuning in, could you just let us in on some of the many accomplishments you've achieved?
Oh, well, thank you. I think it was meant to be. I think we were just supposed to have another conversation because we had so much fun last time, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, no, thank you for having me again. It is a pleasure to spend some more time with you. I'm Ashley Holt. I'm an author and a motivational speaker and empowerment coach. I'm in the deep south of the United States in Nashville. I go back and forth between Nashville and Birmingham, Alabama. So it is a pleasure to be speaking with you in Chicago.
Yeah. Now, I'm just very curious those who are tuning in, so you are an author, and there are different sets of books you've written, and I was curious to what led you down the path in writing books on how to, not program, but, how to, parent your children, or, how to communicate with them. I never seen this, before, and this is something that needs a lot of attention, especially in the time we're in right now. So I commend you for that. So I was curious to what led you down that.
Well, thank you so much. I think it's a pretty funny story because my background was in sales and marketing for, at the time, about 15 years, so I was not planning on becoming an author or writing books. I, unfortunately, like all of us, have unexpected things that hit us in life, and so I was going through a divorce and wanted to make sure that my children were okay and that they still had some positive messaging. And positive affirmations have been a huge part of my life, especially the last year leading up to divorce. It was very toxic and a lot of emotional and mental abuse there. So I really had to go from zero to hero, so to speak. And positive affirmation came into my life. I was introduced to them, and if you're not familiar with them, it sounds kind of silly, or you really think it's not gonna work. But for me, it was something that radically transformed my life, and I even go as far as say it saved my life. So when I was going through divorce, I wanted that tool for my children because it had helped my confidence, my self-worth, helped me become a better person. So I thought I would write a book for my children. Just thinking it would be a fun project, more like a scrapbook where my daughter would draw the pictures. And the first book was called Me Go Perfectly and Pug, and it was affirmation. And then somehow, all of that turned into an official book published in the bookstores, Amazon. And then I continued to write as they got older. My oldest middle school, which is the danger zone, right? When affirmations the most is going into middle school, so then I was inspired to write a book for between girls called I Am Brave, Strong Living for Girls, and it's built on affirmations well because that's a rough time for everyone, in my opinion. So I started aligning with nonprofit organizations that work with girls, and I started seeing after the moms would pull me aside. We really love that. Is there a book for us? And it always been in the back of my mind to write something for women as well, because I wanted to address the issues I had gone through. So that was great confirmation for me. And so the result of that is my newest release called God is Wake Up, and it is an empowerment for women. And the mission is to help women find their power, recognize their highest potential, and live their best goddess-inspired life. However, I've already spoken a few times, so there's always a few males in the audience, and they have told me I had awoken their inner goddess. Maybe I'm on.
So, I had a quick question, as in, how critical do you think it is for the attention or for knowledge to be spread on motivating or not neglecting your child's dreams or aspirations? Like maybe it may be out of the realm in your perception, but by you negating that to them is just hurdling them from reaching their true potential.
Yes, that is such a special question to me actually because going back to my childhood, my dad was very optimistic, very loving, but he was always working trapped. I was at my mom. She was a stay-at-home mom, and my childhood was 95% better than those. So no complaints there. However, she was completely opposite my dad. She was more of a pessimist, and she was not emotionally available or affectionate. So I felt my childhood memories are really alone, and I was felt like I was in a way or a problem or very unwanted, not special at all. And I actually kind of jumped around a little bit, but years ago when same time I was at my parents' house, and I found a note in one of the drawers, and it had the date on it for some reason. So it was I would have been about 11 as well. And it said, "Dear Mom, sorry I ruined your life." And I still kind of get emotional about that because at the time my oldest was about that same age, and I was just like, my daughter will never write me a letter like that. That's not how I operate. So two aspects. One, I'm grateful because I think because of my childhood, that is such a personal mission for me to inspire children and teenagers, men or women, or anyone of any age to dream big and to believe in themselves. Because I feel like I was so for that. And I know school they so much put on academic history and English, not who are teaching children to believe in themselves. We don't know the back stories of children and what they're really doing. And I feel like it's part of our I wish it had been for me because I was starving for someone to believe in me. And what better way to do that in the school system? So to your point, I'm very passionate about that. I hope it answers your question.
No, that did, and I guess it takes me into like how being in a marketing and sales background, and then going into being an author and like having to pivot, and like it has this like entrepreneurish spirit, and just with that and trying to always like go ahead without knowing what's there to come. For anyone who's listening, that's trying to like say owners or anyone who's trying to find hope and they're not sure with what's to come, what do you sort of say to them in hopes of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel?
That's a very powerful question right there. I would say, what I know from my experience, that my darkest, hardest times, I had to dig within, and I feel like the world, society puts this storyline out there that everything that makes us happy is outside of us. It's here, it's over there, it's these lows, it's this group of people, but everything is always outside of us. And speaking from experience, what I had to realize everything I needed in my darkest day was right inside of me. But my problem was I thought everything was outside of me. Higher power, everything. It's kind of considered outside of you, but when really we're gonna have to go inside and tap into your heart, and that's where your true voice lives. You're powerless. And I feel like the reason we kind of shouldn't say a lot of the times we can't help the circumstances that we've been given. But what we can do is take our power back, and we find that from our heart. And I do like that. To kind of change everything I'm saying right now, it will make a lot more sense. I initially wrote another book. It's called Shatterproof. And it talks about deepest pain, like experience in very, very detail. So I worked on it for a long time. Very emotional journey for me. So I finished it, and I can just stare at it. This is put it in the world. And after all that emotion, why did I put it out there? And I realized there's that stigma is your message. Well, this mess, I'm not my message anymore. It was part of the journey that brought me to what my real message was. And the real message was how did I get through all of that? How did I get to the other side? And then I evaluated really dug, how did I do that? And I came up with seven steps that I had to implement every single day to rewire and rewire my brain, really program from the beginning. Steps. What are those? I can go through them really quickly, and yes, my book is specifically to empower women. Anyone can take these 7 steps. But the first step is you got to make yourself a priority. You got to start listening to yourself and what you need, because it's not going to come from outside. It's going to come from inside. So first, you kind of have to take inventory of your life, right? How'd you get here? Why are you in pain? And we do that with snapshot. I call it life. Look at all the areas in your life. Your family, friendships, spouse, hobbies, your career. And you rank them 1 to 10. You kind of where your scores are the ones being I'm not happy at all. 10 is I'm off the charts happy. And when you do that, what you're going to find with your lower scores, those are the areas in your life you are making excuses, or you're blocked by fear, or you're blocked by pain, or you're blocked by some sort of limiting belief about yourself. So then you have to dive deeper and say, what are these? I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have support. They're usually the top 3. And then you have to change it. You have to flip the script to a positive affirmation. And maybe you don't feel supported. Maybe you don't feel like most people in pain feel alone, stuck, and they don't have any power. So then you have to say thank you for the support that's on its way to me now. And just by saying that, you kind of open yourself up to receive something new instead of blocking it. I don't have any. I don't have the time to do that. I don't have the resources. Say I'm open to it now. So that's first you have to do a lot of self-discovery. Where are you and what are your blocks? And then you got to start doing the 7 steps. So you got to step outside your comfort zone. Sometimes that saying affirmations, it's not something saying affirmation. It feels awkward. And then you have there's secrets to really how to incorporate that step. And then the next one is over negative self-talk, because your self-talk is gonna catapult you or paralyze you. So you got to make sure you're talking to yourself correctly. And then you have to dare to dream big. Then you declare your desires to the universe. You expect miracles. You got to gratitude, because we're always drawn to attraction. We can talk about that a little bit more. And your truth, and you surrender to self-love. And those 7 steps are self. So I always say, if you're working with me, or you're reading the book, this is going to be step-by-step plan to guide or empower you to make positive, healthy change in your life. And I call that a mindset transformation.
So I guess when you're making this transformation and you're really trying to incorporate all these steps and really utilize them and try to incorporate it in your daily routines, how do you sort of combat against old ways and old beliefs and limiting beliefs and all that like negativity, how can you just sort of like rid of it like fully and be able to take this new mindset and that's been in us, and like how can you harness it fully?
That's a great question too. And so I call this the 28-day goddess mindset transformation. The great thing about this is it doesn't stop at 28 days, right? But it's not going to happen if you don't commit to yourself. You've got to give yourself 5 minutes a day. But first you've got to get clear on your blocks. And sometimes that's the great thing about having an accountability partner or empowerment. Someone to help that out of you. Because I thought them like that. But it's hard if you're not used to doing this or how do you do that? But that's what that snapshot of the wheel of life is so important. Because if feel stuck financially. Let's just finance as an example. If you feel like, especially with 10 minutes, people have lost their job, they're not where they need to be. If you are saying to yourself, I lost my job, I don't have the same income coming out. That's negative self-talk. You're saying I'm not happy. I don't know what to do. I lost my job. Right there is a script to flip around. Okay, how do you take your power back? Take your power back and listen to the voice and saying to yourself. Because if for 28 days you start saying I'm open to receive new opportunities. I'm open to receive something better than I had before. I'm open to receive good news today. They start coming in. I know it sounds crazy, but if you do the work, I think we talked about this on the law of attraction. Are you a big law of attraction fan, or do you dive into that as much? I am a law of attraction junkie, whatever you want to call it. But at all times we're a point of attraction. And if you can how you take power back by learning that every second of every day you have thoughts running the show. You take your power back by controlling what you're thinking, because thoughts are the magnets that are attracting things into your life. Those thoughts are what you manifest. So whether you believe it or not, the law of attraction is in action in its work. So what are you attracting? Are you attracting a lack mindset that it's where you're in a bad time and nothing gets better? Or do you want to start attracting and being a point of attraction for what you want? And they bring in says focus on what you want, not what you don't want. For more worry, more stress.
Yeah, no, you're completely right, and I guess it's just human nature to always look for something to worry, right? Like, I guess because before we used to have to worry about like wild beasts or like cats and like back in the jungles, but like now I guess it's still like embedded in us, so it's like it's hard to just like know that everything's okay. Even when everything's okay, we're still like, oh, okay, something bad's gonna happen, or
Well, it is embedded in us, and there's scientific studies that show by the time you're 2 years old, you've heard the word no 4,000 times. So suddenly your brain is like, anything you do, no, don't do that, no. So we are literally programmed to the no in ourselves instead of yes, instead of potential, possibility. Risk as a 2-year-old is dangerous. So we're told no, and take that into our adult life because that's what's programmed in it. So I am certified in EFT and NLP. So are you familiar with those?
No.
These are huge in rewiring the brain and positive affirmation rewiring the brain too. And I think we talked about this before.
Yes.
But I researched because I didn't understand why they were working. Why does thought speak out loud work? And it's because thoughts become things. when everything in the universe was once a thought, like your podcast was once a thought. And so what'd you do? You started talking about it, right? And then you probably put it down on paper. And then it starts becoming concrete. So speaking is the first thing from getting it out of your head from a thought into existence onto paper, which is now a thing. It's not really full-blown manifest into a podcast, but now it's a thing. It's not just air floating around in your mind.
Yeah, no. So with that, I guess it's like you really have to be critical in what you're thinking. Now, would you say then it's important to keep the right entourage or team around you because you don't want them guiding your thoughts in the wrong way that could potentially lead into you like failing or falling or just doing something that won't be positive?
It's so important. Oh my goodness. I have a story around this. So after the goddess wheel of life, take inventory of the people around you. And so you pull out the average of your fives. And remember, you have the average of your fives. So choose wisely. And you look at the five people you spend the most time with. Some can control, some can't. But you rate them 1 to 5. 5 is their mentor, motivational, huge supporter. 1 is they are negative. Feel my energy is absolutely miserable to be around them. And then you get the average, and that's really where you are. The first time when I was doing this for myself, I think I was maybe a 2. I was very low, maybe 2.5. And I was like, wow, I did myself really optimistic and having people around. But then when I really thought about it, I had to make some changes in my life. And that's why the first step is get outside your comfort zone, because a lot of that comes to change the people you surround you with. Finding people and entering these circles and getting out of your comfort zone to meet people is scary. But it's worth it. It's better for you to be alone and believe in yourself than around 5 people who don't support you, who bring you down, or who choose not to your life.
So, you have to have enough, I guess, respect for yourself, or enough courage to just leave and just do it for yourself, because if you're so worried about everyone else, you can't really fill anyone else's cup, right? It's always, you got to put on your mask before putting on anyone else's, right?
Yes, you do. And that's the thing with pain. You get to a point where you can't take anymore. I did. I got to the point where I could not take one more. Sick and tired of being tired, so to speak. I was tired of feeling powerless. I was tired of feeling stuck. Tired of feeling hopeless and being valued and demanded. I knew deep down there was a burning desire for me to be something more. I knew I had to have a bigger purpose, and I couldn't stay. But that burning desire, I chose to give power to. So again, it becomes going to come from without you. And I was telling someone the other day, and it's come across hard, but having affirmations everywhere. But one of them is a tough reminder that says, no one's coming to save you. Gotta stop. And I don't mean that in, there's not help and support. But if I don't help and support me, there's help and support isn't going to show up either. Or I can't count on that. But the trick is the more I help myself, the more help and support shows up. That's law of attraction. So it's a reminder, don't give your power away to other people, because you have to be most important to you. You have to honor you. You have to value you.
With that, then, like, how critical is it in planning your day or scheduling your week and your time, and how much time you give available to those around you?
How much time do I prioritize for myself and then prioritize around me?
Yes.
That's a great question because I talk a lot about self-love. My whole mission is If you had to niche it down, for me, it's to help single divorce moms. And really, it's for anyone who wants to make positive change in their life. If you don't nourish your soul, if you don't get yourself into the things you need to understand, if you don't do the things that you need to do, if you don't invest in yourself, be the best person that you were meant to be, divine purpose, if you don't honor that, you can't serve your family or your kids or your community to the capability that you are truly capable of. So when people want to have this stigma around self-love that is selfish, it is not selfish, it is honor. And when you change that, self-love is not selfish, it is honor. So I can be the best mom, I can be the best spouse, I can be the best volunteer or speaker or author. Right? Because otherwise, everything out there isn't authentic, or it's done at a level to the extent that it's really meant to be.
So
to answer your question specifically, I do have a regimen. I journal. I get in nature or walk or some sort of physical activity. And I do a meditation. And that some days I might develop that into 20 minutes. Some days on the weekend it might be an hour. But I have to do that in order to be like that. I know when I do that and I'm that my children appreciate it. And they when I don't do it, they're kind of like, we'll do it. Because I'm not like that. I didn't honor what I needed to do to nourish my soul.
I guess it's like the routine of successful people. I've been studying successful people and what they do, and there's something I noticed, like it's like the millionaire morning, right?
Yeah,
like waking up, having like some meditation, working out, having breakfast, and then seeing what you have to do throughout the day.
No. Yeah, and to speak on meditation, some people that's a scary word for some people. I have a couple things to say about that. So for me, prayer is asking. Meditation is listening. And how often do we take a time out? Stop asking and listen. Just silence everything and listen. And for me, what meditation is, it's a few minutes a day, or how longer, great, where I envision the day, the week, the month, the year at my highest possible potential. If money couldn't stop me, if people couldn't stop me, if fear couldn't stop me, if whatever block I think could stop me, I erase for a few minutes. And I listen, and I visualize what this life looks like. All of those things on what do I really want? What am I really capable of? And at the beginning of every week, all right, what can I create that's amazing this week? And go bigger. Keep going bigger. But that's what it means to me. Stop playing small. Stop letting your fear stop you, and stop giving power to your future and your potential possibilities instead of your past where you failed, what you're afraid of, or what you think you don't have.
So I guess it comes a little easier when you have like that sales background, because if you don't believe in yourself, how can you sell anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for good sales people believe in what they're selling, right? Or that are they're great liars. Which I always loved what I was representing. I was very passionate about it, and that's what maybe that's missing from a lot of people's life. You gotta get passionate about your life again. And you can't get passionate about the past that's going down. So let it go. You gotta clean. You gotta just let that go and start moving forward and open yourself up to greatness.
Yeah. What is that saying? It's like look at the windshield ahead of you, not at the rear view mirror behind you.
I don't know, but one of a girlfriend of mine says, you can't put the car in reverse and expect to go forward. Which I think is kind of, I don't think it's exactly mud, but I'm like, yeah, pretty much. You can't put the car in reverse and expect to go forward.
Yeah, I like that. So, I guess then with what you're doing and like trying to empower those around you, for people who's listening and like wanting to be a part of like a group or a community, is there like any way for them to do so? And then how have you found that effective in helping people like reach their true potential, one, and sort of believe in themselves?
Okay, so the first question is how can people look for support and find one?
Yeah, find you if they wanted to connect with you, if they're listening in on us.
Yes. So my biggest passion in life is to do my 28-day Goddess Mindset Transformation workshop. So when you're part of that, there's a private Facebook community. But I'm thinking I should open one that is private to start growing that because speaking from experience, when I was going through a divorce and I didn't have any for environment. I didn't have any for workshops. So if that's the case, I will get on that. But you can find me on YouTube. I have the book has a YouTube video to go with each chapter. And I wanted for that reason alone. I didn't want it just words on a page. It is a step-by-step plan for you. But I wanted to connect with you. And this is a great way to do that. So each chapter is, just me to you, and it comes very much from my heart. And then also a 5-minute daily meditation, if that is meditation. So men may not enjoy it. But the message is great. It's just going to inspire you for the 5 minutes a day, right? And do nothing else on the way to work, while you put on your makeup, while you go to bed at night. Give yourself your 5 minutes to listen to this meditation. It's called the Goddess Mantra. And it's going to bring life into you. It's to remind you that you're powerful, you're valuable, you're the exchange, you're going to transform the world and needs you. And nothing else. Do that for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I like it. It kind of reminds me of like Tony Robbins' morning priming.
Yes. I mean, I'm a Tony Robbins fan, so I tried to make it easy.
No, I like that. I guess you can see then like it goes back into there's like a methodology in everything, and if you want to be successful and you want to achieve self-mastery, there is a pattern that you should follow.
Yep. And a lot of that's intention. I going back to my daily routine. Every day I write my dominant intention today is. And sometimes it's remember to be grateful, to have happy, like enjoy life, like laugh a little bit, whatever it is. But the intentions are like your destination. Don't get in your car and go somewhere you've never been before and not use your GPS, right? I mean, you can. It's going to take you a lot longer to get there and get lost. Same with your day, with your life. Start putting in your GPS to get there a little bit quicker. Intentions are just going to be the GPS for your heart, for your soul, and help you stay on track. It just does it. You just set it, and you get there. Like the GPS, like every once in a while it might get lost. It's happened to me, okay. Every once in a while it might take a little bit on track. But for the most part, it's going to get you where you go. So intentions are important.
Yeah, it really is where you're putting your intention and then where your attention's going towards. Now, with just completing books and just getting things done and finishing it to the end, what advice do you have to say along those lines or in that realm?
Advice for writing books?
No, just getting things done and finishing whatever you have in your mind all the way through till the end.
Follow through.
Yes.
That's a great question. Intention. but most importantly, I'm a huge fan of the vision board. Do you vision boards?
Yes, I do.
Okay, vision boards are huge for me because when I put my goals and my dreams up on that vision board, they're coming true. It's really cute that I do it with my children. Whenever they have their own vision board, so when any of us achieve our dream, we have like a little party. Take it down and celebrate, balloons, or do something together. Just celebrate each other. So you have kids, it's a great thing to do with your kids. They'll hold you accountable. You'll hold them accountable to help support each other within the family. That's one way. But if if you're single, you don't have anyone else in the household with you, you hold yourself accountable. And the book talks about signing a sacred contract with yourself because what do we do? We sign contracts all day, every day with everybody else. Why are we signing a contract with ourselves or with our dream? And I have one in the book that you can copy, but basically it's just the day universe. This is my dream. I want to accomplish it by date. Sign it, and you put it on the refrigerator, on the wall, frame it, whatever you do with it. But why are you not honoring contracts with yourself like you honor your mortgage contract, your car loan contract, your cell phone contract, and the list goes on and on, right? So that's how I personally do it because I see it every day, and then my contract's right here too. Something you have bad days, you want to give up, but keep it up, keep going.
Yeah, and it just comes with having that persistence and having that consistency and
consistency. And every day, 5 minutes a day, envisioning your dreams, like listening and envisioning yourself actually achieving them. And what does that feel like? Because when you start feeling all the good feelings, you want more of the good feeling, and then this good feeling will replace the pain, sadness, and the failure. And then so if you're not used to this word, spending 90% of your time worrying and sad and stressed or having negative thoughts, and then first week maybe go up to 80%, and then the next 70 and 60, because it doesn't want to feel better. Right? I want to feel better, don't you?
Yeah, I do. So, I guess with feeling better, it all comes from yourself and within, and you really have to realize that if you want to be happy or feel happy, you have the power to, and it just comes with being in there for the long run and understanding your mindset, and like you said, just being hyper aware or analyzing and like trying to make improvements along the way.
Yes. And do you know the story of the bumblebee?
No, I don't.
I love this story. So the bumblebee is scientifically proven not aerodynamically able to fly. So does the bumblebee like she flies every day, and not only does she fly, but she's the number one part of the ecosystem. The ecosystem would literally collapse without the bumblebee. So I tell that story to remind that you are just as important. Everyone is just as important as the bumblebee, and you're with purpose, and you're here to do something very important. And what most people say the dream stealer is that you power your way to other people, that you can't do it, or you're not good enough, or the twos and the enough, right? And I choose this. I'm maybe I have a lot of energy, a lot of people might be like, you're too hyper, you're jetting, you're too optimistic, right? You know that. Or my personal self-beliefs are I'm not enough, or that's probably a common one. So the twos and the nuts will get you, but the bumblebee doesn't think she's too much of anything, or she's not enough of anything, and she doesn't listen to anyone else's judgment about her purpose.
It just keeps buzzing.
Yeah, so her mantra is, your opinion is not my truth, watch me fly. And that's why everyone else is, everyone has to really align to that mantra. Like, don't worry about anybody else. Worry about you and spread your wings, fly, shine your light, be the great that you're meant to be. The great person to be.
The story of the bumblebee even reminded me of like the Wright Brothers, and how everyone probably ridiculed them and criticized them and said, you'll never be able to create anything that can fly. And they didn't listen to them, and then they made an airplane.
Yeah, I think I love this story so much, and we might be out of time. But so when I was little, my voice, which you might notice is a little unique. When I was little, it was very high pitched up until really college, or even in my professional career. But everyone would make fun of me for my voice. And then at school, we would have big auditorium meeting where the teachers would get students to go up on stage and make announcements. And I would hate that day they would pick me. Because the whole school would make fun of me. And I was in high school at this point. And everyone would make fun of me. I should be a business character. I should go down to Disney World. And it was me. And so I tell that story when I'm on stage teaching, because I think, there was a time where this was so frightening me, and I was so ashamed to use my voice or just to speak. And then even carried over into my professional career, when I was Fortune 500 company, and they told me, Ashley, your voice is not professional. You need to work on it. They told me I specifically need to practice on speaking lower tone. And that has stayed with me. And I feel so free when I speak, and no one, since I have been doing that ever, that anything is wrong with my voice. So that's my bumble story. We can't hide our own unique gifts. What happened? We can't hide our own unique gifts. Used to make fun of until he wasn't. That voice everyone was too high of until he wasn't not professional enough. Is my too high gift. You're not professional enough. Is my gift.
No, you're 100% right.
But it took me a long time. It took me a while to figure that out. But it took me a long time. It took me a while to figure that out. I don't want you to wait. So let me help anyone else. I don't want you to wait 40 years to discover your gift.
I know we're wrapping up. If you could end on a quote.
I have so many. Actually, I am going to read this quote. Because I am going to read this quote. I started doing a workshop for myself because I love to learn. Always doing a new workshop for myself because I love to learn. And we were doing these personality tests. Learning and growing. And we were doing these personality tests.
Yeah, I have.
And this was the personality test. I'm the campaigner. Do you know? This was which one was it? I'm the campaigner.
I've done the Myers.
I can't remember. We took so many. I can't remember. Yeah, it's similar to that one. Yes, it's similar to that one. 7% of the population. Anyway, so the campaign is actually only 7% of the population. And when I read it, I was like, yes, that is the motto of my life. And when I read it, it happened to be right in front of me. That is the motto of my life. So I'll read it. It happened to be right in front of me. I wasn't even prepared for that. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you do for a living. I want to know, and if you dare to dream of making your heart's long. And if it doesn't matter to me how old your heart's long. I want to know. It doesn't matter to me how looking like a fool for love. I want to know for your dreams, looking like the adventure of being alive. For your dreams, and for the adventure of being alive. To me, that is just a great life motto. I don't. To me, that is just a great life motto. I don't. What you do for a living, how old you are. I want to know, are you chasing your dreams? What makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning? Are you chasing your dreams? What makes you want to jump out of bed and live? What makes you and want to I don't know, I hope someone else likes that too.
And then
I don't know, I hope someone else likes that
just share your social handles.
Okay, it's Ashley Holt For Instagram, Ashley underscore Holt. Ashley Holt. YouTube for is Instagram, Ashley underscore Holt. And Facebook, YouTube is Ashley Holt. And then my website, ashleyholtbooks.com. Is just Ashley Holt. And then
Thanks
my website,
again, Ashley,
ashleyholtbooks.com.
and I hope to have you back really soon.
Thank you, Amari. I love you. You are my dear friend now that we've done this twice. I love you. You are my dear friend now that we've done this twice.
If you can, also share your links with your books so I can put it in the show notes so everyone can dive in and get
Wonderful.
it.
Goddess Wake Up is on Amazon, and I'll be sure to send this to you. Wonderful.
Take care.
Goddess Wake Up is on Amazon, and I'll be sure to send
Thank you,
this to you.
Ashley. Bye.
Thank you, Amar.
Physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, consistently.